Welcome back to Probe the Act on Deepstuff Radio. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Probe the Act on Deepstuff Radio with Emmy Hikins and a lovely singer and a songwriter all the way from America, Phil Harmonic. So have you ever been in a band, Phil?
Yeah, I have. When I started back playing, I looked for some groups and kind of got myself back on track.
Yeah.
Then I started leading a few groups. I had some bands of mine, and I was fortunate enough to play with some good musicians that are in the area and traveling talent. I played with Les Dudek.
Wow.
I played with Derek Truck's band. And with a local celebrity who's passed on now, but was big in Europe, Rock Bottom. I'm sure some of your listeners may have heard of him. And then I started leading my own bands. And then I started doing the solo thing because musicians sometimes are a hard bunch to keep together.
that is very true, yeah. That is very true. Yeah.
I figured I could, do a solo set because I sang, I play guitar,
yeah.
I play harmonica, and then I put an addition when loop pedals came out.
Mm-hmm.
I used that as an addition, so now I can just record on the fly a chord progression or something as solo over it. Wow. And I was doing, a lot of bars and restaurants, cover stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes, we wanted like straight up, almost like the record. And, that was okay for a while. That gets boring. You feel like a jukebox there in the corner. And, so, I started formulating these original songs and getting them together. And now I'm going just for the full showcase, original music. I'll still play some covers because I have covers that I really like.
Yeah.
And that I put a special twist to.
Wow.
But I'm looking for those type of venues. And this is all preliminary to doing that. I've been doing some radio interviews.
Yeah.
And getting the album out there. And I hope to set up a tour that I can take with my sailboat from down the west coast of Florida down to the Keys.
Yeah.
I'm working on that right now.
Wow. So have you always been a singer in the band, or do you play any other instruments?
I got forced into that. Like I told you, I sought out some bands and I started playing again. And this one band, wanted me to sing, and I'd never sung before. and they didn't help because they were playing these songs in keys that were a little above my range.
Yeah.
So I really had to work for them, And then later on, I started realizing I could put these songs in keys that are more my range and really make them mine. And, I became a singer.
Wow. So before that, what instrument did you play?
Guitar, mainly.
Wow.
And harmonica.
Wow. Interesting. Right, so what can you remember where you did your very first gig?
My very first gig, well, I was a kid. Actually, I had a guitar teacher.
Yeah.
And within a few months, he was a local musician, and he had a band, and he also did day gigs, as a solo.
Yeah.
And he played guitar and accordion, and he started taking me with him doing gigs.
Wow.
And they weren't paid gigs unless you want to count Coca-Cola and a hot dog or something,
Yeah.
But those were my first gigs. And then I guess later on they would have been school dance gigs.
Yeah.
And stuff, like different high schools and stuff.
Wow.
And then started playing some bars.
Yeah. And have you played any gigs recently, your latest gig?
Recently I did a couple of festivals over on the East Coast of Florida.
Yeah.
Land Festival in Daytona Palooza.
Right.
And I'm looking for some more festivals to do. And like I said, I'm talking to a couple of booking agents and trying to set up, you know, an original music tour, and talking to a couple of places locally here that are showcase type venues.
Yeah. Wow. So do you always write all your songs? Did you get help with writing them?
No, they pretty much pop out on their own.
Yeah.
And I guess the help I get is from living life.
Yeah.
You know, life is my helper. And they kind of pop out at sometimes at the most unexpected time. And, you know, I'll jot them down, and then I'll come back and fine-tune them. Sometimes they'll come with the music, sometimes it'll come later,
yeah,
vice versa.
Wow, brilliant. So we're going to take a short break now. Please don't go away. You're listening to Probe the Act on Deepstuff Radio with Emmy Hikins and Phil Harmonic all the way from America. Please don't go away. We'll be back shortly.